So this is a Countryman Coatings heavy duty silicone. It's made for obviously heavy duty. It's made for areas that are tough to repair that you need to pass on a roof. This is some excellent silicone. It does an excellent job of patching and pasting and repairing roof places that can be pretty tough to do. So this material is really thick. I'll open the can here a little bit, but the reason I hold the can like this with a bucket like this is to show where I did do a patch. This patch was done 2 or 3 days ago, and it's really done well. You can see I put my foot down and push on it. So I needed to cover this. If you look, if you see this, you'll see this. This is the end of a runner, and it wasn't leaking yet, but it was going to be leaking. And they did properly install the top of the roof. They slid it under far enough, but the problem is I got water coming in this corner. So to avoid this, I had a gap here anywhere from 3/4 of an inch to an inch. And so this is all sealed in and done a great job. And you can already see where some dirt right here, but that's what I want to see is actually the water is actually flowing properly. It's going like this, what I want it to do. So this is an excellent patch material from Countryman Coatings, this heavy duty silicone. It's easy to work with. It's just a heavy duty paste. And I've used it to patch several spots on this roof. This is some really heavy duty stuff. When you put it on the brush, I use throwaway brushes when I use this. It's just a material that I painted on or pasted on. It does a real good, it forms very flexible. It's very sticky. Now the one thing I will tell you about this material is when you open the can, you need to do something when you're on the roof to keep it from the sun. Either use a board to place on top of it, or bucket to place on top of it and keep it open. It's just so it won't get the UV and it won't dry out, because what will happen is if you don't do that, you'll get a layer on top. And I actually had some layer material that got layered on top that I was pulled off. So you'll waste a little bit of material if you don't do that. So just remember to do that. But again, the paste goes on real well, and you can see right here, I'm going to walk over here to a section I just did. You can see that. So here's a section over here that I just did. And this is going to work out real well too. I'll patch it. All I want to do is the water to flow from here to here over this side. Now, it's important that you clean the roof really good. The section you clean and mark it. You see I have blue tape here to mark the spot I needed to do. And here's another section over here that's much more challenging that I needed to do. And you can see it's all well cleaned off. I actually used some painter's tape at the bottom here, to make sure that you could have a clean edge. I didn't do it on the top because I didn't want a clean edge on the top. I wanted it to thicken up as it came down, so I didn't want to have a layer like this, just in case water would go underneath it, so I didn't do it that way. But this is just starting to dry. This was done just in the last 15 minutes. And this will prevent any water coming through here on this section of the roof as well too. We didn't really have a problem with leaking here, but in the future we would if this wasn't done. So we've taken care of that. Over here, you can see where I've done some spot sections. Again, you can see where I've cleaned it with painter's tape to mark it. And so these were just holes that were in the roof that I wanted to plug, that I really couldn't put screws in. So again, excellent material. This Countryman's coating is really good for repairing the roof. Very pleased with the material.